Hello and welcome. This is Samantha Francis, and today I want to talk to you about your identity. So, you may be thinking, what on earth is she talking about now? So, when I'm talking about your identity, I'm essentially talking about who you have claimed to be, who you are choosing to be, or maybe who you've become on default. So essentially it's the person you are, and the beliefs, the actions, like the energy, everything to do with who you are. That is your identity, that forms your identity today. Now, the reason I want to speak to you about identity is because it is so important when we're trying to create change that we understand our identities, that we understand who we are, why we've become who we are, but also we understand our identity in relation to the life we want to live and the person we want to become. Now, this is really important because a lot of people want to create change in their world, or they want a different life, they want more money, they want the happy relationship, but unknowingly they're still clinging on to that old identity that isn't actually manifesting what they want, that isn't showing up in the way to create what they want. So they get caught in a loop, they get stuck, scratching their heads, wondering, why isn't this happening for me? I see it happening for everybody else. Why is love so easy for her? Why are they in a happy relationship? They've been together for years. Why can't I have that? And a lot of people also notice that they get stuck in patterns, as in, I'm attracting in the same kind of guy, or every job I go to, I'm attracting in the same type of manager. It doesn't work. I'm cursed. I have bad luck. All of these things. And it's so common. It is so common. But that's where I come in and I say, look, there is a lack of awareness around the identity that you hold. Remember, as we grow up, when we are children, we learn from our surroundings. Our identity is often based on the influence of our surroundings, right? So we're learning who we are, how to behave from our parents, our friends, society, TV, all of these things. But more importantly as well, we're learning how life operates and how the world works through our lived experiences. Now remember, your brain is there to protect you. It's there to keep you safe. So if you experience things that don't feel safe, your brain will influence you and, I guess, support you. It is essentially supporting and keeping you alive to behave in a certain way so those things don't happen. Now, that's a big one, and that's something that a lot of people don't recognize, understand, and they dismiss. That your brain is there to keep you safe. It's not there for your expansion. So your brain, your system, your body, if we're just talking about biologically here, it will keep you locked in a certain identity if it feels and believes that is safety. Okay? So, for example, if you've experienced really traumatic or painful relationships, what will often happen is your brain will have you operating in a way that stops relationships going forward. Many call it self-sabotage, right? It's not really. It's safety. You have to feel safe for change to create. Okay? So that's where people get confused. That's where people say, I'm attracting in a certain type of person or certain type of relationship. But if they take a step back, they'll actually realize that they are drawn to a certain type of person, often due to familiarity, or they are drawn to a certain type of situation because there is an expectation, part of your identity, to be disappointed. Or they are drawn to a certain person and any indication of it moving forward starts to feel like danger, and they show up in ways that pull it back or end it. But essentially, it's your identity. So if you want to change your world, logically, we have to change our identity. We are the center of our world. Things aren't happening to us, right? It's simply a reflection back. Now, you may say, look, Sam, I don't agree with that. I've had awful things happen to me, and, no way would I attract those things. And of course you wouldn't, not on a conscious level. And look, I'm not talking about, sexual trauma, sexual abuse, rape, things like that. I'm not speaking about things like that, because the truth of the matter is there are other things in this world playing out also. But we must take conscious responsibility for not where we've been, but where we are now and where we're going. Okay? That you have full control over. So if we want to create change, we have to get comfortable with the idea of our old identity dying. Your identity must die. That's not you dying. Your identity that has got you this far, that's not getting you the life or the results that you want, that has to die. That has to go. So how do you do that? How do you say goodbye and bury a massive part of you or who you've been? Well, you start off small. Okay? Make it easy on yourself. You take baby steps. How do you do that? You take different areas of your life and you start changing it one by one. So for example, if you tend to suffer with low mood and you get up late in the mornings and you just slum around the house, what could be one small change that you make that creates a different identity? Well, you could get up early. You could go for a walk around the park. You could listen to your favorite music. Get out the house. You could pick up the phone and call a friend. You could do things differently. You see, the more you do that, the more your brain understands that it's safe. It's safe. It's like forming a new habit, forming a new identity, How many times do you have to do something for it to just be default, to be part of your routine? Many say it takes minimum 28 days. For some people, it takes longer, depending on the situation. But you have to do something different, because if you're not doing something different, you're going to keep getting the same results. That's going to be really frustrating. Okay? You're going to want to bang your head against the wall and go, what the hell is going on here? Why is it I'm not getting what I want? And when we look at it, we'll say, well, why is it you're not doing anything different? So start small. Small steps lead to big changes. I promise you. It really, really does. Okay? And this can apply to any area of your life, love, work, whatever. Just do something differently and do it again and again and again and again. Repetition creates safety. It creates embodiment. Your brain learns it's the new you. It's the default. It's the safe zone. So guess what happens? It starts to become your new identity. You start showing up differently. And then guess what happens? Your world starts to shift. There's different expectations, different belief systems. And before you know it, you're living the life that previously you didn't even think you could have. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please do get in touch with me. It's a pleasure to serve you. And I wish you a wonderful day.